So this whole sort of turn the clock back in AI and people going, oh my God, it's going to take the world over.
It's here, and right now, the tools out there are amazing for business.
Yeah.
We can't turn the clock back, we can't change what's there now. I think unless you're using AI, that is the biggest risk to your job rather than ignoring it.
Welcome to Beer with Bourne. I'd love to introduce Bertie Cordingley. I've known Bertie for quite a few years and always had a great giggle when we got together, haven't we, Bertie? Now, you run a successful agency called Nutlog.
Yep.
And I've got you down as a CRM AI automation strategist. Was that right? Was that what you want to be called?
I don't know. I think it's that, it's like, when you ask someone, like, what are you, what do you do? You don't really, do you know? Can you answer that question? I've got a clue.
I'd say I run a marketing design business, but yeah.
Yeah, I think my job title, I've got your pronunciation.
Well, look, hey, we haven't done it.
Yeah, cheers.
Welcome to Beer with Bourne. Oh,
I think
nice.
Who I am and what I do, it kind of evolves and changes. So, yeah, strategist. I don't think I've ever used that word, but you've probably pulled that from.
I pulled that from your LinkedIn.
From my LinkedIn thing. AI probably wrote it for me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we were an agency. We kind of accidentally started this agency.
Yeah, no, see, that's the bit I find really interesting, because I said to my wife, my wife said to me, who are you interviewing tomorrow? I said, oh, Bertie. She's like, what's Bertie do? She said the name, and I explained, and I said, he accidentally started. How do you accidentally start an agency?
Right, but do you want the answer? Is that the first
please.
question? Question one. So I've always been an entrepreneur, for want of a better word. It still sounds a bit cringy saying that, but I've always had my own businesses and always worked for myself, partly because I love it and also partly because I'm probably unemployable. But this agency started by accident because I'm always working with people on growing or scaling and using my experience. Sometimes there would be sort of bottlenecks in that, in passing on that knowledge, as in I'd be very much, okay, you should try this and maybe just build this or do whatever. And that's kind of the point where I would lose people. And then it's like, well, how do you do it? And it's like, oh, it's really easy. You would just, use this or use whatever, join it all together. And again, people are confused. And it's like, well, can you do it for me? It's like, well, no, not really. I mean, I could, but it's not kind of what I do. Do you know anyone that can do it for me? Also no. So it kind of fell into a black hole.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there are people out there that can't build CRMs or automations and stuff like that, but it kind of happened by accident, because then I would get a little bit more involved in doing the do.
I know you can get it off the shelf, but they're not quite right. You have to bend them to suit. Yours are more, well, they are bespoke, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And it's what I'll say with anyone, like, it's a CRM system is it's almost like having Excel or a spreadsheet. It's a blank canvas.
Yeah.
It's not about the software. They're all much of a muchness. You can go and get any CRM and bend it, shape it to do what you want to do. But it's all about that planning and getting it right and actually understanding what your goals are, what bits are you doing now and repeating, that actually you can just throw some automation out that will just save you a shit ton of time, really.
Yeah. Now, also off your LinkedIn, which I found quite amusing, but I know you, so it didn't surprise me. You've put on your LinkedIn, scaling business shouldn't be like juggling spaghetti.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Have you ever tried to juggle spaghetti?
No. I can imagine. It's a bit like running a business and scaling.
Yeah, me neither. But it's a lot of time when you, I suppose scaling, it's, people use the word scaling for so many different things in business. I suppose when you're growing a business, like, everything's everywhere, and suddenly there becomes a point really where you have to grow up a little bit. Now, that might be that you're onboarding more customers. It might be that you've had an investment opportunity. It might be that you're looking to exit. Yeah. And suddenly then all of this mess that you have within a business, which is beautiful, and it should be like that as you're growing. Like, it should be messy, it should be scrappy. Like, you shouldn't be worried too much about perfection and all that. But there comes a point when sometimes that then you do need to address that stuff before you can take it to the next level.
Sure.
And I think that's the sort of bit that when I was working as a business coach and consultant, we'll look at those businesses. It's like, well, actually now this is the problem, so we just need to fix those bits.
Yeah. Now, I think you're probably one of a very few handful of people I've met that I talk to that I am 100% confident in that you get AI.
Okay, that's good, I think.
No, it is. And then, you know, just from the small things when we've had a beer and a chat, and you've said certain things and I've picked up on it, I thought, yeah, he really does seem to know what he's doing. So this whole sort of turn the clock back in AI and people going, oh my God, it's going to take the world over, we're all going to be unemployed and all the rest. I think it's a tool, am I right or wrong? I think it's a tool that you use to help you rather than just get it to do it for you. Am I right, wrong?
Yeah, exactly. I think where we are right now, so, you know, doom and gloom. First of all, so yes, we've all seen the films. We've seen Terminator, we've seen The Matrix and stuff like that. Seeing how powerful AI is right now, I can legitimately see how those things could be reality. Now, I don't think that's in the short term, you know, maybe 5 years, 10 years, maybe not even in a lifetime, but I can see what people's fears are. However, also, I'm not John Connor. I'm not in any way in any position to stop it. It's here, and right now, the tools out there are amazing for business. Yeah, they are. So, yeah, it might kill us in 20 years, but you know, I think my opinion of it now is just make hay while the sun shines. Like those tools are amazing. So, and there are so many people that are so anti-AI and won't even look at it for whatever reason, probably in the same way that people wouldn't use the internet or a mobile phone. And it's we can't turn the clock back, we can't change what's there now, but right now I think unless you're using AI, that is the biggest risk to your job rather than ignoring it and saying, like we've seen it in so many industries, like black cabs in London, like they actively fought against the likes of Uber, and they did stupid stuff, like all the sort of rallies and stuff like that. Rather than just making their experience better, they could have actually built their own app. But actually, what they did was stupid stuff, like put bin bags over their card machines and stuff like that. So they had to be cashed out. They made the user experience so bad. Whereas Uber, love it or loathe it, it was here and it just did a fantastic job. It's like, I wouldn't even know how to order a cab now without Uber. If my battery's dead, I'm fucked, I can't get anywhere. Yeah, that's it.
Totally. Well, actually, weirdly, I was listening to a podcast the other day and they brought up Uber because they said it's actually one of the best pieces of marketing, period, because they brought up, you order a taxi in the old days, you rang some bloke on a phone at 1 a.m, you'd no idea if your taxi were going to come.
Exactly.
He's, it'll be within 20 minutes, half an hour later you're thinking, is he coming? Is he bothered? But because they had the map, it took the anxiety out of it.
Exactly.
So you don't mind, you know where it's coming. You know when it's going to, it's fine. You even know what colour the car is to look out for it. So that was, take the anxiety out of the process.
Fantastic, yeah. The Uber map is one of the biggest things.
Yeah. Well, am I all right to touch on Fill My Belly?
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. So do you want to just explain what that business was and how it became about?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was 2004, so we're going back now. You can probably remember that.
Is this when you were abroad? Because you lived abroad for a while.
I did, yeah. No, it's when we got back. So I lived in Greece until 2004, I think I got back. And then had to say we were pregnant with our first child, who's now 20, who works for me. So this is how long ago it was. That's Oliver, yeah.
We've both got an Ollie.
Yes, of course we have. And we were living in Southend at the time and driving so I had to grow up then. It was like, shit, having a baby, what do we have to do? Can't DJ anymore, that's a terrible life choice, like I'll have to get like a proper job. And was driving for a job interview in Nottingham because my sister lived here at the time. We were living in Southend. I'm from Doncaster. We had like family all over the country, so there was different places we were looking at. Nottingham was one of them. So driving for this job interview, and it was just one of those conversations. We were driving down in this shitty old Corsa that we had at the time, like the sort of burgundy colour, and it was like, I wonder if you can order takeaway online, and then started talking about the idea, and it was like, obviously there's no like internet on your phones, and you couldn't do anything. Just this idea of that 2 to 3 hour journey started to to develop, and then like came up with the name fillmybelly.com. We'll work with takeaways independently. We'll get them to deliver it. It was all brilliant. And then came and told my sister about it, and they loved the idea as well. Bought the domain name that day.
Did you? Wow.
And then did nothing with it for 2 years because I thought it was that good.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Someone will steal my idea.
Yeah.
So that's how the idea started. And then a couple of years later, did tell someone about it, got drunk, told a mate about it. He loved it. Then it was like, yeah, let's go into partnership and all this other stuff. And then, yeah, only by bringing that idea to life, like by saying it out loud, did it become a thing. So the whole premise was ordering takeaway online, as you know now, you know, Just Eat, etc. But we weren't doing anything with the deliveries. So what I did to launch that, because I talk about smoke tests and didn't realise I was using a process at the time. Yeah. I just thought I was, was, I suppose, not testing it out. I don't really know what I was doing, but I took a week off work, designed this PowerPoint presentation of how this website was going to look.
Yeah.
It was horrific. Like it was, I don't even know, it was Microsoft Paint or something. It was terrible. And went round takeaways. We had a logo. That's the only thing I paid for at that point. Went round takeaways and would like, would you, not would you pay for this? We're launching 29th of June. This is in March. We're launching 29th of June. And we had this huge, complicated way of signing up, but it was all in a form. But in that week of going out in takeaways, 5 people said yes. So 5 people had paid me the 350 quid setup fee, which I plucked out of nowhere. And it was like, fuck, this is real. Like people actually want this service. So went back on the Monday, handed in my notice. My name was absolute mud. Like they were like, why on earth would you leave? Oh, I was knocking doors for NTL, the sales manager at the time.
Oh, okay. NTL, oh God, I remember those days.
Why would you leave this stable job and go and do this? And yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it. So handed in my notice, but did that. We launched Fill My Belly on the 29th of June, 3 p.m. Had the first order at 3:10. Turned out to be false. That literally broke my heart.
Oh, bless
we had
you.
no more orders for about another week. Takeaways kicking off. Oh, you said it was going to be great. Oh, it's just a nightmare. But yeah, and then fast forward 7 years later, we were at that point the 3rd biggest in the UK. We'd grown, scaled really well. Again, no idea how. We just kind of made it up as we went along. And then
some of the best
sold
jobs,
Just
some of
Eat.
the best, aren't they?
So yeah, Just Eat bought us. I was director there for about 3 years. And yeah, hence why now I use my experience in doing that stuff to help.
Because you've learned the lessons. I've got the T-shirt and
yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of cool.
Does that answer your question?
It does. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. How can SMEs best use, if there was one, if you were sat in front of a room full of, and I've seen you present, and I think you're brilliant. That sort of Charlie Wyman said to me, "Oh, you've got to come and watch this guy present. He's brilliant. You'll love him. He's your kind of sense of humour." And your first slide, I think it said something like, "Nobody gives a fuck."
I remember. Yeah.
Or something like that. I just thought, I like this guy. He's just my cup of tea.
That was a video editing course, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because you basically said, you don't need to go and buy all the kit. Use your phone. Just do it.
Exactly.
And I watched some of your with Leanne and your kids, and I think there's some clip somewhere online I found, and you were all, I don't know if you were watching Star Wars or something, and you were all sort of doing this sort of, it just made me laugh.
Yeah. That was a Christmas trend, I think, on TikTok or something a couple of years ago. Yeah, I know what you mean. There was a question in there. What was the question?
Yeah, the question is, sorry, I went off piece there, didn't I? The question is, if you've got a room full of small businesses who are all kind of like a bit unsure of AI, they know AI, what it is now, potentially, but how can they use it to benefit? What's that one sort of thing that you could go and do that today? Or
I think just do it, essentially. Which
have a go.
Yeah, just try it. So anyone who's not AI, the easiest way into this. You've probably used some sort of AI tools already, and you don't even know it. But the easiest way to get into this is just get ChatGPT and just ask it a question, have a conversation with it. And you can be cautious and stuff like that. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a therapist or anything and share all your personal information. Just ask it, ask it about a business idea or, something that you like, or and you'll see how capable it is in answering those questions. And just utilizing it like that, even if anything new is difficult.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you were starting the gym or learning to cook or whatever, those first things, any new hobby, for example, it's like there's a learning curve and there's hurdles, but you have to go back and do it. Otherwise, it's never going to get any better. With utilizing AI, you just have to keep at it. I haven't heard anyone that's ever said, oh, do you know what, like, yeah, we've used it for business and stuff like that, and we started implementing it, and now we've stopped.
Yeah.
Once people are in, they are 100% balls deep in with it, like almost going the other way, like too much of, which I'll cover in a moment, actually, you know, because there are some sort of risks and things like that, which I'll touch on, because it's only fair to say the other side. But just start using it and just see how you can use it, because even if it's just looking for that an extra bit of perspective, you can put website, like, you know, for business, how improve your SEO. There's anything. There's nothing that you can't use it for.
So I use AI, Bertie, because I am dyslexic.
Right.
So I have the idea I want to talk about. I just sometimes don't know quite how to start it, finish it, and then obviously my grammar and my spelling is shit. I can't get it. I spell things out, you say them. And everybody knows that, who knows me. And I think you know, like my wife always gets really hung up. Oh my God, there's a typo in it, you've missed a comma. Who cares? Nobody's that bothered.
Remind me, I'm going to tell you something that'll change your life. They'll hate it in your office.
Oh, okay.
You'll love it.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Cool. So that's how, and my mates have, you know, seen the post that I just cut and pasted one day and thought, well, I just see, let's use a full AI. And they went, you don't even know what that fucking word means or how to spell it. So that's not you. Be authentic.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean. I'd rather have a typo than not you. So that's how I started.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I use AI.
And I think that's a really good example. And the way I've been explaining AI recently, it's like suddenly everyone's got access to a car, but nobody knows how to fucking drive.
Yeah.
So now the roads are just full of people like, yeah, look at this is amazing. Check this out. Wow. And the whole thing has got the potential for just a huge fucking car crash.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like that. So you've been delivered this nice new car. Like, learn how to drive it, take some lessons, speak to people, understand the roads, get some direct, all of that stuff. And I think that's where people are going wrong.
Yeah.
So your example, I would probably challenge, because you started by saying you're using AI because you're dyslexic. I think dyslexic or not, I think you would probably still use it. But being dyslexic, and I can relate because I've never been tested, but if I write something down, someone will say to me, are you dyslexic? It's like, well, probably. Like, I can't even read the stuff that I write, and I'll come back to the thing that will change your life, Sean, in a moment, and I'm not selling it. Using it as a tool in that manner is the right way, and that's a really good place to start. Yeah. So, as a good example, a few years ago, well, it was lockdown, remember those times? Crazy.
Oh, God, yeah.
I was sending out a daily email, and it was just generally just like a little rant or like a business thought or whatever. And I had a really good, like, people were really engaged in these emails. Like, it actually makes me feel a bit warm inside thinking about it. The idea for the email, I would get 20 a day.
Yeah.
Sit down and writing it, it would be like 10 minutes, done. Reading it back and then trying to format that email to be something that is then legible to another person reading it, not a fucking chance. It was hieroglyphic. So I would then have to go back, and I'd be using Grammarly. I even paid for Grammarly to like try and fix it. Still no good. Like, the editing of said email took so long. I think I did about 250 of them and then stopped. But I really enjoyed doing them. If I'd have had this tool and was using it exactly the way that you're talking about, I'd still be doing it now.
Oh, wow.
Because I really enjoy writing. I really enjoy that creative side and just getting my ideas out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way. But I fell into that trap where it's like, you just, especially when you first use it, it's like, wow, this has created something great. And you just put it out there. And then when you read back, it's like, no, it's not me. I don't use those words.
Yeah.
But at the time, you're kind of like fascinated by the magic of the stuff that it produced.
Yeah.
So I can see how that happens. But referencing those daily emails, so this is something that I've done now. So because I had those, I'd written them and they were me, I wrote those, like there was no AI in it apart from a little bit of Grammarly, or actually my wife in the end got involved and was like, look, let me just fix the spellings. I literally downloaded all of those, put them into a big PDF, and now that is in a ChatGPT project
Oh, okay.
as my tone of voice.
Ah,
So now when I write, it references that.
Yes.
So if I've got an idea for a LinkedIn post about this, it will give me a pretty good first draft in the same style. It will use my stupid analogies for things like the car crash or whatever, and it will do it like that. So I'm able to then to tweak and change it. So it cuts my work down massively because it's just like having a really smart assistant that can help me.
That's cool.
And that's the difference.
But, done.
But the other thing, and this is the thing to be aware of, and this isn't a reason not to use it, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to, so when you're using a tool like that, bear in mind that anything, and it's the same with any, it's like what you say to your kids when they go to school, like anything you share on the internet, you know, it's out there, and it's true, it is.
Yeah.
So ChatGPT is an example. Originally, when it launched, the chats were ring fenced. So you would start a chat, and then if you started another chat, it wouldn't be able to see into that chat essentially. Then later on, they brought out this concept of memory. So now and again, a little thing would come up. And it's like, oh, we'll remember that. So you might say, "I'm Sean from Born Agency." You don't have to tell it again. You have to tell it that you use British English or something like that. Let me have some beer.
Go for it. Yeah.
They buy the beer as well, by the way. It's all included. Just saying. Put that in the advert.
And
I'm going to have another in a minute.
The most important question of all is coming up, but carry on.
Okay, fine. So I've lost my train of thought now. What was I saying?
You were talking about...
Where was I? So yeah, and then it really, this concept of memory, so then it will reference things as a bit recently. And then something that I thought was quite scary, and this is for me, who uses AI all the time, there was an update and it basically said, we can now see all of your chats.
Bloody hell.
Now, bear in mind, it is, of course, the app, and of course, it makes sense that we'll be able to do it. But actually, like, sometimes, like, you know, when you've come back and you're drunk or whatever, and you'll have like a chat and you'll maybe like little side conversation. I don't want that side conversation being in any way referenced or remembered. That's gone. That's gone. We don't want that. But now it's there. So essentially, anything that you share with the AI, potentially, it knows about you. But this is the other thing to bear in mind. All of the free versions, you don't have the option of being trained on your own data.
Okay.
So anything you're sharing with it, like it's going to train, it's going to make the AI smarter.
Yeah.
With the paid versions, you have the option of turning it off, but it's only when you get to like the Teams version above on ChatGPT that you really have the option of not uploading that data to the server. So if you're using anything with like customer data or things like that, or like I proofread like a lot of contracts and stuff, the bare minimum standard I have to have for the AI that I use is the Teams version.
Okay.
Because that is not going to be, well, as part of their terms and conditions, when Skynet takes over, it won't matter. As part of their terms and conditions, that data is not going to be shared. So if you've got a responsibility of having customer data, you just be very, very careful. Like, you know, people use it willy-nilly, like uploading contract, check this contract, great, but you've then shared that. So in theory,
in the cloud,
of that sensitive information, and it's been trained. If in the future someone's asking about that particular company, well, they know those things.
Yes.
So it's not going to pull the whole contract, but so just be careful of that. Easy to solve, just don't share stuff that you wouldn't. If you've got a responsibility to keep data confidential, then keep it confidential. And if you are going to use an AI tool to manipulate or use anything with that data, just make sure that you're on the right plan. So that's the only sort of caveat that I would throw in there.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Bertie?
Yes.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All the best.
Was that it?